All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Jason, and today we're about to be reacting to a new YouTube video. Yeah, that's right, people. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by Teray the Explainer. He explains a lot of stuff in his videos, so this time I'm gonna explain along with this video. Alright, so the title is called Does Radiation Really Create Monsters? As I explained it in my first reaction video. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I will promise you that when I'm done recording my second video, I will post it and write on the description there and paste the link on my second reaction video description there on the box there so that you guys can watch. Alright, now with all that said, let's get on to the reaction video. Let's go. Alright. Make this screen as usual bigger. Alright, this big is enough. Now let's go in. Oops, I forgot to tell you this, but it's not create. The title's actually Does Radiation Really Create Monsters? By the guy whose name is Teray the Explainer. Alright, now let's go on to the reaction video. Sorry for that just now. I misspelled it incorrectly. So let's go on. Here's the video. So alright, so here's the title by Teray the Explainer. The title was put there. Does radiation really create monsters? Alright, so let's watch the video.
Hello there guys, and welcome to another installment of Teray the Explainer. Radioactive fallout. Ever since us humans have harnessed the power of the atom, we have screwed up a few times and released vast amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere, in both warfare with nuclear bombs and by accident in various power plant malfunctions. Which, according to post-apocalyptic films and video games, as well as popular YouTube videos, this radiation creates horrifyingly deformed mutant monsters and creatures when it gets into the environment and affects animals. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, Mirelurks. Oh my god, two-headed cows? It seems, according to pop culture, if we ever were to have a nuclear war, forget about the nuclear winter or food shortages or radiation poisoning. Look out for those frickin' mutants. But today, with the release of HBO's really great Chernobyl miniseries, yes, I'm cashing in a little bit, as well as the debates concerning investing in more nuclear power, let us ask the question, is radioactive fallout really as bad as how movies depict it?
Yeah, it is.
If we were to have a nuclear war, would it create horrifying creatures? Well, let's find out. To replicate what conditions might resemble if the world were to end in a nuclear war and radioactive fallout seeping into the environment, we should look no further than the actual locations where radiation has ended up in ecosystems. For the purposes of this video, let us look at two examples which have been researched pretty significantly after the subsequent years, Chernobyl and the Bikini Atoll. The 1986 Chernobyl disaster in modern-day Ukraine is pretty infamous for being probably the worst nuclear power plant disaster in human history so far, releasing vast amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere, water, soil, and plants, and yes, even animals. Great efforts were taken to reduce the potency of this disaster, and all humans were removed from the region for the safety of its inhabitants. But still, radiation remains. Does, as the horror movie Chernobyl Diaries suggests, the exclusion zone possess deformed monsters running about? Well, the answer is a definitive no.
Yeah.
It is true that within the first 4 years following the release of the radioactive material into the region, birth deformities such as missing or extra limbs and eyes, and skull deformities and so on increased by possibly as much as 100%. These deformities lasted only in the first few years following the disaster, and diminished as years went on, and the radiation decayed. It seems that the vast majority of the majorly deformed animals died near birth. It did not survive past infancy, and natural selection weeded these types of animals out of the population, and that is likely why these effects only lasted a few years following the disaster. We know that today, the lack of humans has caused the exclusion zone to become a wildlife sanctuary of sorts for many European animals that are highly endangered elsewhere. Lynx, wild boar, the wolves, brown bear, bison, Przewalski's horse, and eagles and owls have all returned and live within the remains of city buildings and even the reactor itself, and they seem to be thriving. A 2005 study concerning the barn swallows of the exclusion zone did find that the swallows within the zone still have relatively elevated frequencies of physical abnormalities when compared to those outside the zone. Slightly deformed beaks and tail feathers, and random bits of albino feathers. But at the end of the day, these deformities are really nothing compared to what pop culture tells us to expect. For the most part, these animals are just as healthy, if not better off living in the fallout radiation than the animals outside. And this is likely due to a lack of human intervention, such as hunting and habitat destruction. They are able to live just as they did 1,000 years ago, if not 10,000. The Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, the real-life location of SpongeBob's house, was, during the late 1940s to 1950s, the site of about 23 nuclear bomb tests by the United States. One of these bombs being the infamous and monstrous Castle Bravo. 10,000 times more powerful than each of the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and spewing vast amounts of radioactive material into the water and on the islands surrounding the region. If any place on this earth should possess the mutant, multi-headed enemies of Fallout, they should live in the lagoon of the Bikini Atoll. Two-headed sharks should definitely be in there. Well, no. Just like with Chernobyl, this is not the case. The coral reef flourishes even within the bomb crater. Fish and sharks thrive in the oceans and appear relatively healthy, again maybe even healthier when compared to areas of the ocean where humans are allowed to fish. Really, only the major noticeable effect of the fallout might be the fact nurse sharks that typically have 2 dorsal fins in the region only have 1 here. So, they got that at least. It seems radioactivity does increase rates of mutation slightly, but evolutionarily speaking, the few genetic and physical abnormalities that do arise in populations are minor, and if major ones do appear, they are weeded out of the population through natural selection. Organisms have dealt with far worse throughout the history of our planet. Sorry, Mad Max, Fallout, and so on. No, radioactive fallout does not create monsters. The one thing it does give you is cancer. Radiation is actually more harmful to us, longer-living animals, because our lifespans lead to more opportunities for cancerous cells to arise in our bodies with the mutations to our DNA. But that's pretty lame if you ask me. It's crazy to think humans themselves are actually seemingly more harmful to the ecosystems than the radiation even is. So, if there's ever a nuclear war, and you, the viewer, are watching this video on your Pip-Boy, check yourself for tumors. And watch out for those incredibly healthy and non-mutated predators. I've been Trey the Explainer. And thank you so much for watching this short video that I just kind of pushed out there to hold you guys over for a much longer episode. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, swaying like a breeze.
Let me just cancel that. Alright, as I watch this video about that, it's actually a very quite interesting video about the mutations of animals, nuclear power plant malfunctions, or something that's happening in the past that we may know about it, what humans had really screwed up a lot of times back in the past, but they have more power in nuclear stuff like nuclear bombs or something during the World War times or kind of like that. Some of them are nuclear fallouts. So yeah. Alright. That's everything all today, boys. That I explained for this video. That is basically what the title had said. by T-Ray the Explainer. Alright guys, now remember, please give a like to this video and subscribe down to my YouTube channel subscription button there, and also click the notification bell for more info on my videos. If you have already clicked it, and my notification bell will tell me that you have already subscribed to my channel. And so I will believe you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Jason signing out for later. And also, goodbye. Bye. Bye.